Welcome to Pivot Parenting, where we help parents of teens overcome regret and disappointment to find peace and connection in every situation. I'm Heather Frazier, your parenting expert. Journey with me to discover effective parenting tips, improve family relationships, and build a brighter future for your kids. Buckle up, things are about to get better. Hey there, we're friends, right? I'm so excited to talk to you, and I'm wanting to get this done before we leave town in a few hours for the weekend. And they're mowing the lawn outside. So, as my friend, I hope that you can give me a little bit of grace for the next 5 minutes when and if you can hear them mowing my grass. Kind of embarrassing. Hopefully my amazing mic and productions team and all the things will filter it out. But if you can hear the lawnmower outside, I'm sorry, but I'm so excited to talk to you today. And I'm so excited that my podcast is helping so many people. I have a couple of new reviews that I wanted to share with you from iTunes. This is from Elspank, 5 stars. I have loved listening to this podcast. Heather covers a broad variety of topics that any and every parent can benefit from. Great guests, thought-provoking and insightful questions and commentary. Highly recommend. Completely changed the ways I viewed and approached my role as a father to my kids, and everyone, myself included, has been better off for it. Thank you. This one is from Cherryberry Beeper. It says, relationship gold, 5 stars. And they capped it, every single relationship in my life got better when I started listening to Heather. I just love that. That is it's so fulfilling. Just side note, this is me, not the reviewer. It's so fulfilling for me to work so hard, and that work provides exactly what I hope that it does, which is change. Continuing the review, Cherryberry Beeper says, her content is so relatable and makes you feel so seen. She has a gentle approach, which struggling parents will appreciate, but she is genius at helping you see how to shift perspectives and ultimately feel and act from a place of more personal peace and power. It translates into helpful insights for every relationship, not just your kids. Thank you both for your awesome reviews. I'd love to read my reviews here. If you want your review read, please go leave me one. I typically check iTunes, but I did just get a Spotify account and Amazon podcasting account, so I'll be checking those as well. When you review my podcast, the algorithm likes that and it ranks my podcast higher so that when people type in searches for parenting help or how to help my teenager, anything like that, then it is more likely that my podcast comes up first. And so if you have time and interest, I always appreciate it. And other parents appreciate it because then they can more readily find this information, which hopefully is helpful to everyone who listens. Okay, let's talk about sleep. I feel like parents and humans have a love-hate relationship with it. We love it. We wish we didn't need as much of it so we could get more done. We wish it came easier and also ended easier. It feels indulgent, especially if it's a nap, impossible, inevitable, frightening, and nurturing at any given time. It changes with our age and stage of life, and we all of us want our kids to be better at it than we are. Sleep is more emotional, I think, than maybe we give it credit for. We have a lot of drama. We ask a lot of, how did you sleep? Did you sleep well? I'm the asker of that question in my family. Who's the asker at your house? And who always gives the responses? We talk about the dreams that we had while we were sleeping and nightmares. At least we do in our house. So this episode is about your kids' sleep. Now, if you want one for how to sleep better yourself as the parent and also learn very adjacent, helpful information for your teen as well. I did a podcast probably a year ago, episode 125, Successful Sleep as a Parent. If you want to listen to the exact detailed information on sleeping better as a parent, finding peace, not letting your kid keep you up at night. And I just want to say that on my website, heatherfraser.com, you can search. I have a little search bar, so you can just put in sleep, and then it's going to pull up all of my sleep relevant stuff, which is really helpful because I have over 230 podcast episodes. So the little search engine, like if you're wondering about arguing or anger or lying or apathy, you just plug in the word and it's going to pull up all of my content around that subject. But I digress. Today we're covering 5 topics all about your teens and sleep. We're going to talk about biological reasons. We're going to talk about stress and social pressures. I'm going to share some simple practical strategies to encourage better sleep habits. How to talk about bedtime in a way that doesn't incite a fight and respects their autonomy. And then we're going to talk about how it impacts their ability to wake up the next morning and what you can do about it. Because a lot of parents ask me, how do I get my kid to get up and get to school on time? That's a big one. It's either that or how do I get them to go to bed so they're not zombies? And if you have any like we do in my house, sometimes they get really crabby if they're tired. All right, number 1, the biological reasons why teens are wired to stay up later. It actually is science. It is their neural development. I have read a bunch of books. I have taken adolescent development classes. This is just science. Their circadian rhythm shifts. And it could be that they're psychologically pushing away from parents. So they want different hours than we do of operation, so to speak, so that they aren't with us all the time. It could be that they are leaning toward their peers. Social desires like the fear of missing out. But for whatever reason, over all the millennia of adolescents going through adolescence, they want to stay up later. And obviously, like everything, this is on a spectrum. So I have had kids that really like to stay up late. And I have a couple kids that like to go to bed early because they get up early whether they like it or not. Their body just wakes them up. So there's a spectrum, but generally during adolescence, they are going to stay up later and sleep in more. And then they can't wake up as easily because adolescents, much like babies, they're growing so much that they need more sleep. They need 8 to 10 hours. And I would argue that I also need 8 to 10 hours because I love sleep. But our adolescents, for development, for growth, for all of the repair and the connections that their brains need to be doing, they need 8 to 10 hours of sleep. And so it can be really hard to wake them up if they don't go to bed till past midnight. Now, you might be expecting me to talk about blue light on screens or excessive video game or phone time, caffeine or other substances, lack of exercise, and other external variables that affect their physical inability to get to bed on time or to wake up on time. And there's value in that. We want to have good sleep habits. But guess what? I'm not an expert in that area. And there is so much literature that already exists. So I'm not going to really talk about any of that because you can find that information and experts out there will do a better job explaining it than I will. And quite frankly, I don't want to waste my time trying to be an expert in those areas because where I'm an expert is something that most parents don't think about. And that's what I'm going to stick with is my best approach. And I'm going to do this all at once with all the info at the end. So here are the biological reasons. Again, because adolescents physiologically are pushing away from childhood and into adulthood, it shifts our circadian rhythm. It just does. And then we have all the biological effects, again, of those external variables. How much exercise have they gotten? What have they eaten? All of that kind of stuff. Number 2 is stress and social pressures. These are probably one of the bigger affecting contributors to their sleep and how good their sleep is. Feelings, emotions, these keep us all up. This is a human thing, not a teenager thing. But hopefully as an adult, we have developed a few different tools up our sleeve to help us out. And it doesn't include a nightcap or just working ourselves raw till we fall into our bed. Those actually aren't tools. Those are not healthy habits. I like to teach my kids tools together as a whole family so that nobody is singled out and everyone is learning when they're not upset or triggered. We want to teach when there aren't any fires. And then when there are fires, we want to do. We cannot teach when the house is on fire. We have to do something about it. So, for example, at dinner time, we can have a discussion about how to wind down and process our emotions. But if it's 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday and school's the next day and I have a kid having a meltdown, it's not time to educate. It's time to step in and say, we are going to breathe together. Look into my eyes, and as soon as you can join the count with me, breathe with me, or whatever it is, right? I just throw out one of many tools. So teaching and doing, we need to understand when either one is appropriate. When your brain is spinning, and what I mean by spinning is replaying scenarios that happened earlier in the day or imagining conversations that you could have with people that you're upset with. And of course, in these imaginings, we always crush the conversation and leave them completely speechless. And we really put them in their place, just like all the well-written scripts and the shows that we watch. We could be beating ourselves up, fearing what could happen the next day. These are all really great indications that you or your kid have got emotions that want your attention. Now, oftentimes, they don't get our attention until we lay in bed because we keep ourselves busy to avoid them. Moms like to stay busy. We like to be on our phone. We do things, right? Dads are at work all day and then they have other things to attend to. Same with our kids. They're at school, they're engaging with their friends, they're playing video games, they are getting homework done, and then we all lie down in a quiet, dark room and we're all alone with our brains. And it's like you can hear a collective sigh of brains in the house. I've been waiting for your attention all day. Let me tell you what's going on. You did this wrong. You should have said this. Next time this person says this is how you should respond to really show them, right? Does this happen to you? What we want to do, instead of this hamster wheel of spinning, we want to invite our emotions to take the mic. And again, this is not imagining conversations or beating yourself up. This is saying, I feel a lot of anxiety, or I'm really stressed about what could happen tomorrow, or I'm afraid or scared that I'm going to fail, or that I did fail. We want to locate the emotion and we want to give the emotion the microphone. And so I'm teaching you this so that you can teach your kid. We want to teach our kid how to have healthy bedtime strategies to alleviate these social pressures, our emotional buildup from the day. whatever it is that's going on, we want to listen. We want to hear ourselves so that we can address it, and then we can sleep peacefully. Hi there. I just want to pause and let you know if you are struggling to make sense of your teen's behaviors, emotions are running wild, and you're looking to turn things around to have the family you dreamed of while rocking them to sleep, I would love to talk to you. I want to give you a special, powerful gift. 30 minutes with me, my friend. You'll walk away with more confidence, clarity, and understanding of what the issue is and your next best step in resolving any situation you bring to me. It's completely free. I love families and want to help yours be wildly happy and successful. Book this call by visiting my website, heatherfraser.com. Remember, Fraser is spelled with a Z-I in the middle. And don't worry, the link is also in the show notes. I look forward to meeting and helping you. How should parents talk about bedtime in a way that respects their kids' autonomy? Because we all know that teenagers do better when we treat them more adult-like and grown up, but they're still our kid, and so we still need to help them make healthier choices by getting to bed at a decent time and waking up. Easy. No drama llama. Don't be a drama mama. Be a no drama llama mama. Do you remember the Llama Llama books? We want to take out all of the emotion around sleep. Now, I know this is not how society works. We have a lot of emotion around sleep. Oh, I just get none of it. We talk to new moms and we're like, oh, I just am so tired. And we talk to moms who have careers and are raising families, and she wears it like a badge of honor. I just never get to rest, and I just am working so hard. And that's good. Nothing wrong with hard working with new babies, no babies, and lots of older babies. But when we make sleep dramatic, sleep becomes dramatic, which means it causes drama. So live and learn is the best teacher for our kids. They need to figure out how to get the sleep that they need. And every kid is a little bit different. Some kids love their sleep, and some kids are fine with less sleep. And oftentimes sleep comes in seasons. So if it's basketball season and you have a basketball player, or it's summer job season and they're working really hard, sleep can ebb and flow depending on the stress and the circumstances in their lives. We want to allow them to live and learn. We want to offer our help, but recognize that they may not take it, and that's okay. We definitely want to have rules that we feel are comfortable. Some examples just to get the ball rolling, but you don't have to take if you don't like them, is that Wi-Fi dies at 10 p.m. and phones aren't in bedrooms at night. Those are some pretty common sleep habit rules and healthy tech rules that we can help our kids have healthier sleep patterns, because our kids don't have fully developed brains. And so while we want live and learn to be how they learn, we also don't want to send them out to the wild, wild west. We need to still have a safe space for them to learn. So we definitely want to have whatever works in your specific family situation, some rules around some of those things that they might not have enough of a developed brain to help themselves around. Again, like turning off video games. Sorry, there's no screens on after 10 p.m. Get to bed, or 9:30 or 11:30. Doesn't matter. Whatever works for your family. I highly suggest discussing this as a group. Have some kind of family council or conversation. Come up with rules and ideas, especially if sleep has been a struggle in your home, and you want to educate on why it's important to have rules and how the rules actually benefit them and what they want. Because usually with sleep, what keeps us up our monkey brain business. We want the dopamine hit or the emotional release of right then, and we sabotage tomorrow for the expense of right now. And so we really want to educate our kids on pay me now or pay me later, but either way, you're going to pay me. And so we can embrace the discomfort of turning off our video game, even if we're close to it, or television show, or wrapping it up with our friends to get to bed on time so that we can perform better in school and have the energy to hang out and have fun tomorrow. Because either way, there's discomfort. And when we shortchange tomorrow to cash in today, there are consequences, and we want to educate them on that. So how does this impact their ability to wake up, and how can you help them? Again, this is on a scale. Every kid's going to be a little bit different, and you as a parent are going to approach this differently. Again, no drama. We actually want to let them fail in a safe way. They need to understand consequences. Ask how you can support them. Adjust their school schedules if needed. Some kids really cannot get up early, so have them start later in the day, or homeschool a couple of topics, or online school a couple of topics, so that they can feel successful and get the sleep that they need. Because when kids, for whatever reason, their biology is like, no, I don't wake up before 8 or 9 and school starts at 8 or 9. Well, guess what? They are going to feel like a failure and broken and like something is wrong with them. That is not healthy for their life trajectory. So alter the schedule if that's really how their circadian rhythm is, so that they can feel successful. That is far better for their long-term future. It really is not a problem if our kids struggle to wake up. Obviously, we want to do everything in our power to make sure they have healthy sleep habits as much as they're willing to participate. And then we just want to adjust. It really doesn't have to be anything other than, this is how my kid sleeps. It should be as undramatic or non-dramatic as, oh, my kid has celiac, so we don't eat gluten. Oh, my kid, for whatever reason, they don't wake up at 7 a.m. And so we're going to adjust the schedule so that it suits their biology. It doesn't mean that you have failed. It doesn't mean your kid is broken. We're all just wired a little different. It's interesting how we applaud the kid who wakes up at 6 a.m. and we judge the kid who wakes up at 9 or 10 a.m. But they still have the exact amount of time to put in hours for the day. So let's drop the judgment and the drama and work with the kid that we have. Okay? That's what you can do about it. Because you really can't do much if you're doing everything within your power and they still won't get up. Here are some simple, practical strategies that you can implement to encourage those better sleep habits. We definitely don't want nagging. We don't want you to be frustrated. We don't want your kid to be frustrated. And the worst thing we could do is make your kid feel like something is wrong with them. They are broken. They are a disappointment. Because that causes a lot more damage than them sleeping in. So number one, we want to educate. We have to start with ourselves. You listening to this podcast is a great place to start. We want to talk about things regularly in kind, helpful ways. So again, no judgment. We want to observe patterns that you can see in non-confrontational ways and talk about those. Like, hey, I've noticed that when you don't get exercise, you have a really hard time falling asleep. Do you agree with that or do you disagree? I've noticed that when you go outside after school, you seem happier, like you feel better and you get to bed at a better time. Have you noticed that? What do you notice about your sleep? Teach them how to recognize patterns for healthy or unhealthy habits. This is a skill that will radiate out into more places than just sleep. Teach them to be the observer of how things affect them, both positively and negatively. We want to offer help, obviously, and this can be rules. So I am going to help you because I know that it's really hard to put the controller down. The internet is turned off every night at 10 or 9 or after dinner or whatever. Again, every situation and every family and kid is different, but come up with things that work for you and then allow consequences. Consequences are also not dramatic. Bummer that you sneaked your phone and stayed up late. My son, one year for Christmas, he got, I think it was when PS4 came out, he woke up at midnight and opened his PS4 and played it all night. All night until the family woke up at 6 a.m. He set it up and played it all night. Well, he missed a lot of Christmas Day because of that. And subsequent years, guess who got all their presents wrapped? Him. So there were usually Santa would leave like his big gifts unwrapped. But no, after that, they just all were wrapped. So it didn't matter how early he was up. He had to wait till 6 a.m. before he got to see what he got, when the whole family was there and we would start opening. So consequences are important. Most of us actually learn better when it is the hard way. So we want to learn external ways to have good sleep habits, which again is like diet and exercise, screen time, all of that. And internal, we want to educate ourselves on emotions and ways to improve our emotional health and dealing with emotions that can keep us up at night, like fear and worry and stress and shame and guilt. We also need to educate ourselves and know that 100% good sleep isn't a thing. And when we can recognize that sometimes we have good nights and sometimes we don't, it makes it less dramatic. We've all gotten enough sleep to get us through the day, literally our whole life. We have never not gotten enough sleep that we don't survive. Now, sure, we might not be able to run a marathon, but we were able to keep ourselves alive that whole day until we could sleep again. So sleep really doesn't have to be dramatic. We survive. It's fine. The second thing that we want to do is set a good example. By you implementing and practicing good sleep habits, you are teaching them in the most effective way, by example. So impact them by helping yourself. Number 3, don't nag or criticize or say, I told you so. Let's just allow for everyone to be human. It's not a problem when it's in the past. If they pulled an all-nighter with our friends, not a problem. It's just history, so we get to learn from it. Again, recognize patterns and things that worked well and things that maybe shouldn't be worth repeating. Number 4, we want to reframe. When you think something is a big problem, it is. And when I am coaching parents around their teen sleep habits, it's a big problem. And what it usually creates for these parents who believe it's a big problem is they make it mean a lot of terrible, terrible things, like their kid isn't going to graduate or be a functional adult. They won't be successful. They won't be able to have a career or relationships. And they get so emotionally caught up in the now drama, like my kid hasn't been to first period all week, that now the parent isn't sleeping well. And they exacerbate their kid's inability to deal because they're riding them so hard. So it's like their kid's already having a hard time and now they're adding drama on top of that. That's not helpful. Sleep is not dramatic. It just is. It's a thing. Like I have brown hair and you have your hair color and the sky is looking lovely outside. It's just blue and maybe your sky looks different than mine and it's not a problem. There doesn't have to be any drama around sleep. And then we just want to restart these 4 steps. We want to educate. We want to learn more. We want to set a better example. We want to make sure that we're not nagging and criticizing, that we are supporting and loving them. Then we want to reframe it. It really isn't a problem. I promise. Not a problem. When you can take the drama out of not sleeping enough, it's not that big of a deal. And you're just like, yep, maybe later you can have a nap, my sweet son. And for now, this is what we got to do. Or if they can't do that thing because they're so tired and they need a nap now and they miss out on something, that is a valuable lesson learned. Again, not a big deal. Okay. If you want help sorting this out, please book a free consult with me. I would love to meet you and listen to exactly how you're struggling with your teenager, whether it's around sleep or anything else. Let's talk about it. I coach a parent. I coach both parents. It's whatever works for you. I have some spots open for fall clients. So grab 30 minutes with me by clicking the link in the show notes or simply by heading to heatherfraser.com and you can apply to work with me there. No strings attached. If you know that you're not going to work with me and you still want a free coaching session, let's do it. That would be so fun. I would love to meet and help you. And I hope that this episode has helped you, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Heather is the one, an expert in the field. She knows her parenting stuff, including how confusing it can be. You've tried it all, and it's a lost cause. Crying in the closet 'cause you failed at being a mom. But think again, there's peace around the corner and there's hope in your hands. Your kid just wants your love and you want it from them. So take a pivot